You know, I realize we can make up a million excuses and a million reasons to not share, to not go live, to not talk, to not communicate. And, you know, I've been stuck in the middle of them for the last couple hours. Like, I got a friend that's coming over to drop off something. Like, I gotta wait. I got like a bad internet connection. I might still have a bad internet connection. Who knows? I don't know if I can hear. I don't know if will they be able to hear the music? I don't know. We got a million reasons to not share. But I'm sick of all the reasons, to be honest with you. I'm kind of having a sick of it all day. Sick of the excuses. I'm sick of the pain. Sick of a lot of that stuff. And I want to lean into it. Here's the difference. I think there's a way to be negative and shut down and turn off and close up, but I want to lean into it. There's just a lot of stuff that I've got to share. I'm a person that's built to share, and I think that's clear. Welcome to late lunch. That's what we're gonna call this. I think. Whatever. Maybe not. Maybe tomorrow we'll name it something different. But right now it's called late lunch. I'm going to start streaming pretty much every day, and just come in late on the feed, late lunch time, share some either stories or conversations with other people, maybe some music that I'm into, depending on how we can do all that with, streaming and getting knocked and all that kind of good stuff. But welcome to Late Lunch. My name is Joel Barnes. I just a guy that's in the world to share. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what we want to do. I say we because there's something that's starting. There's something that's been stirring in my heart for a long time, and something I just got to do, and I've got to share. I've got to put a lot of stories in my heart, a lot of different situations in my life, and I just want to have conversations around them. Have conversations about what's going on in other people's lives. I want to have space, for prayer requests, for praise reports, for just sharing the things that are going on inside our lives. And this is a space that I'm kind of beginning to cultivate it in. Got a million excuses why why it's not going to work. But man, I just got to do it. I just got to be on. I just got to be obedient. And so I'm trying to do that. But yeah, if you are joining the stream new, if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm not sure when you're going to be catching this or what it's going to be like, what it's going to feel like. But I just hope that it's a space where you can feel safe, where you can feel encouraged, where you can feel like you're not alone. I think that one of the biggest things that God's ever put on my heart is that you're not alone, and I'm supposed to help prove it. And so, sharing this space is something that I don't know. I just feel called to do. I feel called to explore. And today in particular, I just want to kind of like, if there's something that kind of comes across my mind or something that comes up, I just want to get on here and share it. I want to get on here and get some people to comment and send some prayer requests, when we're live every day. And I just want to be, obedient there. And so how's everybody doing today? How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? How is everybody feeling? Hannah, could you hear that music? Huh? Okay. Let me know if you hear it. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Let me know, kid. You can't hear anything? But it's live on YouTube, yeah? How about now? Huh? Still nothing. Can you see the Spotify up? Okay. All right, we'll figure it out. Thanks for tuning in, babe. You're my one and only viewer today. All right. Make sure you like and subscribe, okay? All right, that's my audiovisual tech over there helping me out, giving me some information on how the stream is coming out. So so the first thing I wanted to do today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of share like what the whole idea of this show is and a couple things that we're going to be doing kind of as it progresses, right? So first thing, let me do stop that. Let me click that, share another screen, which is going to be our Discord, our Discord server for this whole thing, right? And so what I'm going to explain this in just a second. Right now we're in general, but what I want to do is I want to kind of explain like what the schedule is first. So one thing that I kind of have to, I'm a person that's built to share, right? The story of how I got that word, how that became clear. It's a long story, and I hope to share that story with everybody at some point soon. Um, but it's very clear that when I kind of share, when I get the things that are inside of me out, it is extremely healthy for me. It keeps me healthy. It keeps me um, grounded, connected to God. It keeps me in a place of health and awareness. Something that people say um, about me sometimes is that I'm aware. Um, and I take that as a compliment. I think that is a huge compliment because I think that there's a lot of people that are not. There's people that are not exactly aware of where they are in the world or what's going on or what they're struggling with. And what you can see right now is what I want to do is I want to share share this stream with my Facebook page. And so watch the video live, or it might be like some weird effect right now. Interesting. All right. Boom. Share it to my profile. Okay. So the idea behind this is for us to essentially I just want to create a space to enter and invade into, your lunchtime, if it's at the end of lunch or the beginning, you getting back to work with like a lot of people like working remote at home. What we'll do is I'll create this space essentially of accountability to my own calling. Now, uh, it probably sounds kind of funny, but that's the truth. The reality is, I know that I'm a person that has to share. I know that when I get out of that rhythm, that I have a hard time. And I'm in a hard spot. Like there's a lot of things about my story that you may or may not know right now, but I'm just in a wild spot right now in life. And I'm just like in this crazy season. Um, quickly I've been diagnosed with something called CRPS, which is a pain syndrome that is apparently the reaction, my body's reaction to a surgery that I had. Well, I had 3 surgeries in my knee. It's supposed to be a simple one for meniscus repair, and it's just gone crazy, right? And so it's essentially rendered me a bit disabled right now. Like it's crazy. I can't sit up for. I can't sit. Like at some point I'm going to not sit here. Like rare. Sit. I know it's crazy, but sitting is a hard time for me because um the knee kind of triggered my sciatic nerve, kind of triggered my whole leg being swollen and in pain a lot. And so I've got to keep my sciatic nerve from having pressure, and it runs underneath your butt. So if you sit, you trigger it. So like I longest like I rode in the car for 30 minutes to and from someplace the other day, and I couldn't walk for like 2 days. So very interesting physical, and I'm typically a pretty active person. I love serving. I love running around. I love traveling. I love going to El Salvador. Just all those things are just kind of not in the cards for me right now. And so with all that being said, I'm in this interesting season and I feel myself shutting down. Now, I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence that I decided to start a ministry called Share, and all of a sudden it becomes really hard to share because you don't really want to communicate about it because it just sucks, you know. Like I'll go to this view for a second, but it just sucks, right? It just sucks. The whole situation sucks. It's completely, you can't even believe it. Like, you can't even believe this story. You can't even believe, like, what? Like, that, it's just crazy. You had a meniscus surgery, so simple surgery. The craziest part about it is I had the surgery in order to be well, so that from the legs, from the waist down, so I could start using my elliptical that's in the garage to trim down, to hopefully take pressure off of my back, which has been injured with 3 slip discs. So went to have the surgery, and then it just kind of nightmared from there. And that was 4 months ago. But there's no coincidence. There's no coincidence that, like, it happened at a point where I was getting ready to start talking to people about the fact that they're not alone. It's not wasted on me. The fact that it's not a coincidence that I go through something like this in a time when I'm just getting ready to connect with people the most. And so, it's been really hard. It's been really hard. And, you know, I have a job to do. I have a calling. It's my job. It's my job on earth to make sure that people are seen and recognized and know that they're not alone. And that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want to do. Like, right in the season, like right now, that's what I want. My goal. That's what I want to achieve. And I don't want a bad internet connection to pause it or stop it. I don't want being later than I expected to go live to stop it. I don't really want anything to stop it. Nothing's stopping my pain. Nothing's stopping my pain right now. And I don't think that's a coincidence either. And so I want to share. I want to encourage other people to tell me their stories. I want to encourage other people to connect with each other. I want to run at loneliness with a full head of steam and just say, hey, you're not alone, and I'm going to help prove it. You know, and I want all of us to do that. And I want to build a community that helps to do that. And so there's a few things we're going to do. So one of the reasons why I wanted to start sharing my screen is because I wanted to show this. This is going to be our Discord server. Now, let me explain the place where we got to the place about live streaming in the first place. I am a little bit of a nerd, right? And one of the few things that I've been able to do in this season of not being able to sit very long or not being able to stand or walk or whatever is I've been gaming a little bit more. Now, I say a little bit more because most of y'all don't realize that for years, one of the primary ways I connect with my best friend in DC is to play video games. Yes, one of those guys. And so to play video games, we have gotten online and we've just played different ones. Right now, we're kind of in Apex Legends, been in Apex for the last 2 years. And we just, you know, every other night, sometimes multiple nights a week, get on. We'll, it's how I connect to my best friend. And I've cared more about that connection than actually gameplay. So I'm actually not that great because I really don't care about the mechanics of it. I care more about the connection. Now, I'm starting to care more about the gameplay and the connects in that part because I feel like there is a unique space. Gaming is a very toxic world. It's really weird. Like, as I have experienced more of it, and especially in this last couple months, it's kind of a weird, toxic world sometimes. And I want to create and what I've also noticed is there's a lot of young males, young females in that space, young people in that space. Almost all of them younger than me, right? Because I'm the 42-year-old guy that games. But I want to create a space. I had this vision to create a space that just wasn't toxic for people. And so in that, I've just been learning so much more in the last few months, right? There's something called Discord, and you can kind of see on here, there's a couple different gamers, like Snell Mountain's one of my favorite gamers. And he's actually a really positive gamer. Like, I really enjoy what he does, but he has this Discord channel, and, there's a couple others that I started following. I created my own Discord channel. This probably means someone's on. You're trying to jump on in a bit, say 5, 6 your time. Yeah. So there's a guy that, like, he's like, hey, yo, you want to play? Because I try to create this neutral space where you don't really have to share your identity with people, and you can, kind of just jump into this Discord and say, hey, I'm going to get on in a little bit if you want to run, because it's just better to have people that you know or to communicate with. It's just less toxic, and that's kind of what we shared. But I want to use this technology. It reminds me a lot of like Slack. I don't know if you guys have ever worked with Slack before for like business communication, but it's kind of like you have your own channel and for your company, and then in your company you have different channels. So in this particular like organization, like share the Discord, in the shares Discord, we'll have like a general, like maybe like regular like updates, like, hey, this is what we got going on this week or whatever. And this is kind of just me titling it live stream discussions that are good news that cultivate community. And then, kind of the idea of calling it late lunch. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube Monday through Fridays between 1 and 1:30. I think we're going to start closer to 1:30 every day, because that's when Hannah goes back into her classroom. And I can get on for like 30 minutes or so from 1:30 to 2 and just, babble exactly like this. This is the idea. I'm just gonna say whatever it is. I'm not gonna come up with too much of a plan. I probably just naturally will start having like more ideas to talk through, but I'm going to strip myself of all having to have control and having to have it thought out and having to have it well put together. And I'm just going to submit to doing it, right? And that's a scary step, because there's days when I'm in so much pain that I can't focus, I can't talk, so it's scary to enter into something where I'm doing something regularly, but it's late lunch, because it's kind of like by midday, I kind of have it under control. Typically by like 1:30 or so, I typically have like the pain under control for the most part, if I'm going to have it under control for the day. And if not, I'm just going to show up exactly how I am, because I think that's the thing that's important about this, is just be Mike Todd at Transformation Church calls it humble, open, and transparent. I want to come in hot. I want to be humble, open, and transparent about the things that are going on. And that hopefully that vulnerability will start to cultivate that in other people, and in other places. And so that's the goal: be humble, open, and transparent, and share what's going on, and arrive as I am. And so in the Discord, you'll see, by the way, there's a link. There should be a link in the caption for this post, a link in the description. I think that's the way the YouTubers say it, for joining this Discord. And what I'll do also right now is I'll copy it and I'll put it in the comments right now. So if you want to just be part of this Discord or be in this deal, just join that Discord. That's pretty much an invite. Click that link. You might have to download the app if it's not something you're familiar with, but otherwise just add that channel. And in that channel, in the share channel, we're going to have kind of like I said, general, whatever ideas. And then we'll have topics for live stream. Let's just say something comes up that you're like, yo, it'd be interesting to hear him talk about this, or it'll be interesting to kind of even be in a discussion. If you want to be part of the discussion, like we're using StreamYard, thanks to my assist, Alexandria. And there's ways for me to patch people in and bring people on, and we can talk about stuff, whatever it is, and it doesn't always have to be between the 1:30 and 2 o'clock time. We can do something later in the night. We can do share the live stream after dark, whatever it is. But there's ways to do different things. So if a topic comes up, I just dropped a couple in here. Why do bad things happen to good people? I mean, like, hey, I'm a person that's made a lot of mistakes and done a whole lot of bad things, but I have watched people around me kind of struggle with the things that I'm going through, at a different level. Like, how is it possible that you do XYZ and then this random thing happens to you? And so, and a good bad thing happen to good people. That might be a topic of discussion for one of our streams. I'm noticing my internet connection's sucking, so that's not very encouraging. But we'll figure that out. Like I said, I'm not gonna let like the laggy stuff stop me. I'm just gonna keep going, and we'll figure out how to make it better as we go. But another topic might be Bible study in the book of Job. I mean, speaking of bad things happening to good people, we've been studying, me and my friend Katie have been studying the book of Job, and it's just been refreshing. It's a weird word to say, with studying a book about devastation, death, and destruction happening to a good man. But it has been refreshing. It has helped me to realize how alone I am not. And how there's a plan for everything, and how there's a purpose for everything, and that nothing's a coincidence, and that, it's all gonna be worth it eventually. So it's been great. That's one we could do. And that feels like a series to me, where we chop it up into 3 books at a time, or 3 chapters at a time. We just kind of work through it. We just do some summary stuff around that. Another one that I really want to do is a weekly dedicated praise report, like old school testimony style. Like, yo, people, I bring people onto the show and say, yo, like, what's good? What's really good? That might be the name of that show. What's really good? Like, what's really good? I need to hear some good news. I need to know what's going on in your life. I need to know something that God's done in your life to help me being encouraged about mine, like, for real. Or it might not even, you might be a person tuning in and you'd be like, yo, like, I don't really mess with God the way you do, Joel. And that's totally fine. But it might be encouraging for you just to hear that something went well for somebody else, or someone else's interpretation of how God walked into their life, changed something, and then walked out, or never walked out, but how he just came in and fixed something at some particular time. So I want to do a weekly praise report. That's something else that's on my mind. If you are here, if you are watching, do me a favor, like this stream. That's it. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. No one in the world will know that you did it, I don't think. But like the stream, subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow the Facebook page if you found this, from some other place, I don't know, but like and subscribe, that'd be great. I just saw I had 3 people watching, and then I said that, and now I have 1 person watching. That's fine. But and I can't see who you are, but if you'd like it, it'd be great. But back to the Discord, we're also another spot in here will be maybe scriptures and encouragement. If there's something that you found that's like, yo, I feel like that spoke to not just me, which is pretty much every single scripture in the world. You could drop it in here, drop a picture. If it's a meme or if it's a GIF or whatever, drop it in there. If you got prayer requests, I want people to have a place where they can come and just drop in some prayer requests. And they don't have to like say, this is for, Jim Anderson and he's got marital issues. This can be like, this is my friend Jay and we just need to pray for restoration or whatever it is. And I just want to have a place where people can come and do that. And then the next one down is serving opportunities. Like, God willing, as I heal, as I'm expectant to heal, there'll be more things that we can kind of do or organize, or things that we can kind of get. And I don't even have to be at all of them, but as we heal, as the city heals and opens back up and the country opens back up, there hopefully will be serving opportunities and things that we can do together. As part of this nonprofit ministry business that we're going to all kind of partake in and help build. And then the praise reports. So similar to the show. But just want to show them like, hey, you know what? This just happened. It was great. And it was amazing. I loved it. Quotes doesn't have to be scriptural. It could just be a quote that you love or like, or whatever. I dropped one in here today that was, hope is the memory of the future, by Gabriel Marcel. I actually heard that in a talk from Dan Allender. I'm taking a class with my friend Rachel Blau. And she and I have been learning so much from Dan Allender and about the power of writing our story, the power of our story, getting our story out, helping with timelining, like the things that have happened in our lives, getting all those kind of things. Like, hey, when you take a step back and you actually look at the course of your life, like where have you seen God at work? Have you seen restoration? And what a powerful thing it is to do, to take a step back and look back at your life and say, wow, man, every one of us has a place in their life where they can look back and say, man, remember when I was such a stupid kid, or I was such an idiot, or I did that, or I was that person. Thank God. They literally thank God that I'm not, or thank God that I've grown past that. or thank God that I'm like delivered from that, whatever the terminology you want to use. But all of us have those stories of reconciliation, and those stories, to remember those stories, is really powerful in your own story, is your own daily reality. Because if you can remember that you're not alone, you can remember where you had pain and then you got healed. If you can remember where you had something hard on your plate, it's not the same thing. But I was talking to Hannah yesterday and I was like, yo, I know that one day this whole injury season will be like me getting a tattoo. Every single tattoo I've gotten, including the share one, I was like, yo, what did I do? Why did I decide to do that while it's getting done? And it's painful and it's hard. But then as soon as it's over, as soon as the healing process begins, I want another one. I want the next one. I'm probably going to get 40 more by the time I'm dead. Sorry, Ma, but it's true. But that's very symbolic. It seems like a metaphor for life. Like while you're going through it, you might be asking yourself, like, what did I do? And here's the thing. One of those things might be actually dedicating your life to follow Jesus. Like that might be it. One of those things might be just being a good person for you. If you decided to not lie, cheat, steal, or go against what your nature might have been, and then you get punched in the gut for it, that might be one of those times where you're like, why did I do this? If I had just kind of stayed in the place of getting what I want, manipulating people, I would have been better off. But I decided to be a good person, and now all hell broke loose. And trust me, that's the truth. That'll happen. But if you can remember going through that in the past, like, I did decide to treat people better. And I decided to take notes and send reminders to myself. If I said I was going to pray for someone, or I said I was going to check in on somebody, I set a reminder for myself, and I did it. And that person might actually hurt you one day, but then you'll understand. You might take a step back. Again, I was having a conversation with him yesterday, and I was like, yo, you don't know why God removes people from your life sometimes, but it always ends up making sense. I can't exactly explain it, but it always makes sense. And you go through the pain now, and then in 10 years, you're like, oh, well, that person got arrested for running guns, or whatever. I don't know. But it's like, if I had kind of stayed in that path, on that path of that person, I would have been there, or potentially kind of, a lot of those things kind of make sense. And if you just take a step back and kind of look at the whole thing from 30,000 feet every once in a while, it's just a healthy way to do it, because you won't forget. And so that's why I want to include a place that has quotes that may or may not be scripturally based, that may resonate with people. That's why I'm taking this class. That's all of it is part of what I am hoping to bring to people, and hoping to encourage people, a place of encouragement. I don't feel like there's enough. I know that in the gaming world, there's not. And I hope to eventually, as I get the hang of it, eventually kind of like branch off into streaming some of the gaming stuff in a non-toxic way. I'm hoping to like generate funds to help pay for my own insurance. Like I'm in a place where it's like, it's a wild place. It's a wild place where it's too expensive for me to be hurt and not work, but then I can't work to help cover the expenses. And so it's like, what am I supposed to do? What do I have? And so I've just been kind of in this place recently where it's like, I'm just gonna bring what I have. I'm just gonna bring what I have to the table. And I'm going to, share the way that I know I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to cultivate these conversations, and I'm supposed to help fight loneliness for people. And that's it. And it's not like super sad loneliness, like, oh, woe is me loneliness. But it's like more like the fact that like the world has been so divided and so separated and so pulled apart for so long. And just watching that, it just has broken my heart. And I just want to start kind of helping us find a way back to each other, one person at a time. Like, it doesn't have to be massive for me. I don't need to have 30,000 people that I talk to every week. Like, I just want to help. I just want to talk to like a couple people and just help facilitate a couple people to find their way back to each other, and then ultimately like back to their creator. Like that's my goal. That's my job. That's my desire. It's just to help people figure out who they are and how much God loves them and that they're not alone. And so this is the place to do it. We're going to call it late lunch. I'm committing to doing it every single day. Tomorrow I should be on by 1:30, and it's probably going to look different than it does today. And there may or may not be it may or may not be better. I don't know. Who knows? The reception quality hopefully is. I'm on Wi-Fi and I got all my ports plugged into something, whether it's the light or the camera or my second screen or whatever it is. So one of the reasons why I need a new computer is this computer is operating at like 20%. It's just not built for it. It's completely full. And I just don't have what I need to pull off what I want to do. And so, and I can't, there's no way, because all the ports are plugged in, there's no way for me to directly hardwire it to Wi-Fi or to Ethernet. So long story short, that's one of the goals I have. I want to raise money for a tool to help other people. It's a tool to help create content and create the space for other people, and just being really real about the fact that I have needs too in this season, that I'm expectant on God meeting. I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared of saying, hey, in the description also is the Venmo, the quick pay, the whatever it is. If you feel moved to help in any kind of way, please. I promise by the end of the year will be a 501c3, and so you'll have the ability to write it off or do all the things that smart people do with money. I'm not one of those people. That's why I have someone else that's in charge of that. And thank you, God, for Natalie for handling the money stuff, because it's just not what I'm gifted at, and I'm really blessed to have her in my corner in this space. And so, all that being said, if you have any prayer requests, listen, do me a favor, like comment or like the stream or something, interact with it some way. Let's just start building it today. I think the most people viewing was 3. And so my goal for tomorrow is 4, and then I don't know how many likes. I got 2 likes today. So my goal for tomorrow is 4 likes. I think likes are a little easier and less invasive. But, one day I'm praying that we can build something that people want to share. Oh, we're at 3 viewers right now. I'm hoping that we are building something together. I don't want to do this alone. I cannot do this alone. But I hope that we're building something, and I hope we're building a space for a safe place for people to be in community together, and a safe place for people to, like I said, if we're back to the Discord, which the link is in the comment section and the description right now, our Discord server, it's a place I hope that people can find likeness, right? And then ambiguity. If you need to name yourself different on your Discord, you need to be like, an alias, do it. Just be in a safe place and checking in with some cool people. And it's something that I want to keep building. But click the link in the Discord to join. Click the link in the description or chat to join the Discord server. For share. It's called share the Discord because everything's kind of share the blank. Like this is share the live stream. The lunch edition is the show. Colby Campbell has a prayer request. Thank you first and foremost for reacting and interacting with me. You have just made me not feel alone. So thank you for that. I'm sorry that my internet looks like it's lagging again. But prayer requests that this bill's big. Oh, thanks, man. And that the people and resources that you need to find you. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. I didn't realize that it was going to be a prayer request for me and for this. And so thank you. I appreciate that. And I expected to, brother. I think that's part of the thing, part of what has been fearful, where I have been fearful is that in this season with limited capacity and health and strength, that it's just been hard for me to imagine starting a ministry in this season. Because I just haven't had a ton of capacity, and so, I'm so expectant for it to grow. I'm so expectant for community to find each other and for people to have a safe space that I know that it's going to take capacity. And I just got to stop relying on myself. I just got to stop, I got to stop expecting to be the one to answer my own prayers. And that's the reality. So thank you for that prayer request. I appreciate it. And I have faith. I have faith that God's going to build it. He gave me this word years ago while I was exactly this, crying. But I was kind of in one of those really hard moments. I had lost my nightclub, and all these kind of wild things were happening. Another crazy season. And he gave me this word. He just said, share. And, I thought it meant a restaurant. I thought it meant I didn't know if it meant he meant a restaurant by that. I didn't know if he meant if it was a directive. I didn't know if it was a ministry. And the reality is probably is all those things. It's probably all those things. But sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you got something that you got to do, or you feel like the pull or the tug on your heart to do something, it's hard to make a move because it's like, I just want to do it right. I don't want to. I want to say, yo, I'm raising $2,700 in the month of March, period, and have confidence that not be scared that people are like, well, where's he going to spend the money? What's he going to do it with? That freaks me out. I want to be a good steward of people's, money, of things that they're trusting this ministry with, or this nonprofit ministry business. I want to call it all three, because I don't want it to kind of resemble I don't want it doesn't feel like it resembles anything else. I want to just be honest with the fact about that. Every once in a while, I swear. I just swear. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean that I'm not a pastor. It just means that I say bad words sometimes. And I don't want to hide that. I want to be honest about that. I want to be humble, open, and transparent about the fact that there's no way that I'm perfect. I never want you to kind of count on me to be perfect or be great. Never expect me to be great. Just expect me to do what God tells me to do and to kind of bring people together. That's it. That's my thing, getting people together. So, Colby, thank you so much for that. Look, I can show it. Look at that. I didn't even know that was a thing. Prayer requests. That God builds this big. And that the people and resources need to find you. Thank you so much for that prayer request for me. I appreciate it. It's on the screen because apparently you can do that. And I'm going to take it off the screen. And then that's it. That's it. That's the whole show. And I went 7 minutes over time. And so what? We'll do whatever we want. But tomorrow I'll be here at 1:30. Okay? That's my commitment to whoever's here. Right now, the one person can't see who you are. Tomorrow I'll be here at 1:30. Thank you so much. Make sure that you're sharing. I encourage you to open up. I can encourage you to find safe space to share. And hopefully this can be that for some of y'all out there. All right. I'm out. Thanks so much for joining the stream. Make sure you like and subscribe. And what else do they say? Oh, yeah. Click the bell. I don't know where the bell is, but I'll find it and I'll point to it tomorrow. Maybe it's here. But yeah, click the bell and do the thing. And thanks for joining Late Lunch, first episode. Tomorrow will be 1:30. Same place, same time. Like and subscribe. Don't remember what else I'm supposed to say. So that's all I got. Peace.